Push your hip up and sit straight. Have a deep breath. Inhale deep and exhale gradually with control. Take another deep inhale and a gradual exhale. Relax your 6 points and be receptive. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hri Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavakai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Chair. So last class we gave a introduction to meditation. I would like some inputs. I gave a homework also to try to sit for half an hour and all that. So I would like to get some inputs or a brief summary of what we learned in the last class. I mean, whatever you remember, any points that you remember from the last class, you can unmute your mic and mention the point. I'll give you 5 minutes time. Please take initiative. Don't wait for somebody to talk like our school days. If you have something in your mind, speak up.
So
Sorry?
The part that we found useful, at least I did, was to concentrate on the breathing and to completely relax all parts of my body, the thing, so that there was no feeling anywhere. My mind was not thinking, so staying completely motionless, but just keeping my mind totally just free, kind of just freeing out all thoughts. So the part I found easy to do is to just completely keep the body still. The next step was trying to keep the mind still and just keep it focused on just one, maybe Om or some such thing, but try to shut off all other thoughts. So that part was the more difficult part.
Right. So, we had some kind of a logic about meditation. We discussed some logic about the meditation. From that concepts that we discussed, do you remember anything?
The manas, the buddhi,
right. Ahankara, right.
Ahankara. So the manas was hearing sounds.
Yeah, of course.
I was trying to block the
buddhi. To block. Okay, I will deal with that.
The manas is coming in, but just stop it right there. The buddhi should not engage.
Trying to block. I'll deal with that today. Okay, and then anybody else? Points, please. Anybody who wants to add up? We had a great initiator. Somebody started it. So we don't have that problem anymore. We can all talk. Initiative them problem. You have anybody else have any points to add to that?
Now, how to concentrate our mind and focus on particular one thing.
Sorry?
The number of mind is how to focusing on particular one thing. Okay, meditation பண்றோம் அப்படினாக்க other concentration வந்து hit பண்ணாம இருக்கிறதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்?
I'm going to deal with that because you were telling about blocking out yeah, and at this point I will deal how to approach that issue. Yes. Anybody has any points? Anything, any inputs from your homework, from your practice? Any questions? I will deal with that today.
Yeah. See, when you try to concentrate, your mind will always wander. Then you will have to focus on a particular. I mean, you should not allow your mind to wander and have it focused. And that is one of the important things that you will have to.
When we listen to our Puranas, Itihasas about concentration, who comes to our mind? Can we say Arjuna? He is famous for concentration. I saw only the eye of the bird. I don't see anything, etc. Right? From childhood. Forget about it. He didn't even have to go through all this yoga torture. From childhood, naturally, he was able to concentrate. Right? He is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Sanchalam hi manaha Krishna. My Sanchalam is the mind. That Arjuna is saying, not somebody else. The benchmark for concentration is telling that. So it's no wonder that when we sit, and that is a very important point there. So why Arjuna was not able to concentrate? Why Arjuna was not able to, that man who is like known for his focus. So why did he lose focus? That is where the buddhi comes into place. Buddhi and ahankara, that is the problem. So he was telling now. So we will start the teaching today. Mr. Raghu was telling today about blocking out, and you were when I'm not able to see your name. Yeah. Yeah. So he was telling about the mind going all over the place. So this seems to be the singular problem. So there are two things here. One is the distraction that comes from inside naturally because of our tendencies, impressions from our past experiences, inborn tendencies, unresolved thought patterns. If you are going to meditate in the morning, the effect of the dreams that you had, the impression left by the dreams, etc. So this is something that comes naturally. Naturally, the mind moves because of its inherent reasons, or externally pulled by some noise, etc. The mind moves either through the sense faculties or from the memory and impressions, right? Now, and we have a reaction to that. We recognize that the mind is not available for what I want to do. I want to meditate. That job is being done by the buddhi. The mind, so now this 4-part mind, we will dump it down to 2 major parts. Decisive part of the mind, indecisive part of the mind. Okay, we will narrow it down to even further, just 2 categories. All the 4 categories of the mind, manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, all put together. We will for our purpose of meditation, for the purpose of technique, we will further narrow it down to 2 broad categories in the mind. Experientially, you can see that. Experientially, there is a part of the mind that runs on its own. It's like the tappet noise from the engine, you don't want it. Then there is this mind that listens to, or the mind that is moved, the movement of the mind that is caused by your conscious will, by our decision and our thought process and our will. Will is involved. So there is a willful mind, the decisive part of the mind, and the indecisive, and the part of the mind that is mechanical and that is not connected to the conscious will. So these are the 2 major parts of the mind. If we want to give a technical name, Abhina, the indecisive part of the mind can be called as chitta. The whole thing, bundle it and call it chitta. And the decisive part of the mind, let's call it as buddhi. Right? So this is a broad categorization. So this is another way of categorizing. There are so many ways of categorizing the mind, and in different schools categorize differently. So if you read chitta in Vedanta, it may not mean the same thing as when you read chitta in yoga, and it may not mean the same thing as what you read as chitta in Vaisheshika. So it's according to the school, the terms are handled differently. Similarly, the word Atma is handled differently. The word Purusha is handled differently. So when you go to the scriptures and you want to read about meditation, if you want to read that 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita on meditation, depending on the school of interpretation, the commentary will change from book to book. So don't get confused about all that. So now in our discussion here, the word chitta we will use for representing the whole bunch of the mind that does not listen to my will, that goes on its own. Then we will use the word buddhi for the aspect of the mind that we are handling with our will. That is tangible, we are able to deal with that. Now, the indecisive part, the chitta, in the chitta comes distraction or the thing. Now the buddhi wants to block out, or clear away the distractions or the causes of distractions, or bring it back. It's something like like an unruly horse that you want to put it back on track. You're trying to pull the reins, something like that. Now, the main point that we need to remember, your willful mind, yours, mine, all of us, our willful mind is not capable of accessing the controls of the natural mind or the chitta. The controls of the chitta, the buttons are somewhere inside. We don't have access for the buttons. We don't have access. This is the most fundamental point we need to remember, and we have to train ourselves, because when we feel like acting, we put effort, whether we know what effort we are making or not. This is the main problem we have with the mind in meditation, also in life. When we want to make effort, when we have a tendency to react to something, once that intention comes up that I want to control the situation, we start acting. We don't think. It is what we are going to learn in meditation, even today now, the main technique is this. First, realize I don't know the source of distraction. You have to keep repeating that every time you meditate. We will forget it, because it's a tendency to, moment you feel like you want to do something, we are like, there are people who are restless, they want to do something. Like, that's why we keep shaking our legs, all these mannerisms. It's because the doer, the one who wants to do stuff, that the willful doer in us has the tendency to do, but does not have the expertise to do. Knowledge and the expertise is lacking, but the tendency is very strong. So we keep on, putting some effort. We try to, whenever we try to act, and we try to, that manifests as tension behind the eyes, the tension behind the neck, some kind of tension in our shoulders, hands, fingers, or when you are controlling prana, especially, you keep moving your toes. You'll be sitting, everything will be still. So the meditator is very busy controlling something, fighting with something inside. You will just see the toe, big toe moving. You can see that. Or you will see, this is I can see this especially in Ramakrishna Math. All the Swamis, when they meditate like this. They are like, focusing and doing something inside. Very highly tense. So these problems come when when you are trying to put effort, but your effort is not reaching the point where you have to control. So what happens? Our controls are only at the body level. For a normal person, the controls of the will is tuned only to the body. To some extent, it is tuned to the breathing. We are able to control the breathing. Maybe take a deep breath, hold the breath, slow down the breath. And with a little, even for that, we need practice. We need to learn some pranayama, practice some controlled breathing. If you tell a person to inhale deep and exhale gradually, they will not be able to exhale smoothly. They will be like, they will do like that with the break. They will not take a more deep inhale and a gradual, smooth, harmonious, complete exhale in the single speed. Try to do that. Very difficult. because we have not practiced that control. It's like a brain gym. The whole meditation process is like a brain gym. We have not practiced control. So every kind of control that we need to have with us, we need to exercise that muscle. It's a muscle in the sense the will trying to access the control point and pull the reins of the mind. Yeah. So that is where we need practice. That the whole meditation practice is nothing but making the chitta listen to your buddhi. This is all meditations. As a practice, as an abhyasa, the only thing we are doing, the entire practice point, a seasoned meditator, the difference between a seasoned meditator and a beginner is nothing but the buddhi is able to access the control points of the chitta better with the seasoned meditator. And the chitta has also refined to a certain extent, and chitta is making itself available to the buddhi. Chitta is not hijacked. In fact, we can see among ourselves when we are very, very stressed, about something, we can see that we are not available to think. We'll say, no, I can't think now. So my chitta is not available for an issue. My chitta is not even available for, to the certain extent that it doesn't even want me to meditate, for example. It doesn't even want me to do something. I cannot even think of doing, for let alone trying to do. I cannot even, because my whole thinking process, when the chitta becomes too agitated, the thinking is hijacked, the willful mind. So like how, when I am meditating, my buddhi is learning the control of the chitta. My buddhi is learning to access the control points of the chitta. This is meditation. What is the opposite of meditation? Is agitation. So in agitation, the chitta has learned by habit, by patterns, by adharma. The chitta has continuously learned and reinforced its grip over the buddhi. Abde opposite. And a lot of external factors, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, Adi Devika, all kinds of external factors have learned, or all kinds of external factors have got their hooks on your chitta. Let us say if I have a terrible dislike for one kind of smell. So this, when I teach in the West, there are these, especially women, they're very particular about what incense we should use in the yoga class. So there is one brand called Yatra. So most of my students are mad after this Yatra. So they need that Yatra incense, only then the yoga class is okay. So whenever they come to India, they will take a whole bunch of that Yatra incense and go, because they got used to that smell. Then I had to ban that incense for 3 months. So no Yatra incense during the class. So because the Yatra incense decides whether you meditate or not. This is a problem. So what we have to do is, we allow a lot of external factors to put their hook on our chitta. And we are constantly listening to the chitta. You sit, then you say, okay, let me drink some water. So, okay, you go and drink some water. Water is all right. Then after some time, or coffee on the let's have a coffee, morning coffee. Then we can meditate better. Yeah. Then we go there. Or you don't know what to do in meditation. It's all boring. You're waiting for the class to get over, and you're planning what to cook for breakfast. 7:15, it's getting over. 7:45, we have to be ready. So I will do this first, that first. Now you are meditating on what you should cook for breakfast. All kinds of, the moment a suggestion comes from inside, immediately the buddhi is hijacked. You follow that, you say yes, chitta, and then you start serving the demands of chitta. Then what happens? The chitta says yes to the AI, Siri or Alexa, and then starts serving the demand of that. The chitta says yes to the, all the people around who are putting their hooks, telling you what to do. Your chitta says yes, has habituated to saying yes to all of them. So chitta wants to say yes to a bunch of objects, and buddhi wants to say yes to the chitta. You understand the concept? So this is basically agitation. We are removing, we are completely reversing, taking it upside down. We are doing a Shirsasana of mind here. So taking the mind from agitation to meditation is nothing but we are learning to disconnect. We are removing all the hooks from the chitta. External hooks first we are removing. That is yama. Yama, niyama will make sure that all the external hooks are removed. And then we are, especially yama. Yama, there's ahimsa, satya, brahmacharya, parigraha, asteya, all that. And all the other things like, mitahara, eating the right kind of food, abstaining from certain kinds of foods, abstaining from certain kinds of stimulation, abstaining from certain kind of pleasures, abstaining from certain kind of, habitual temptations, the objects, keeping the objects away. This is yama, outside. And also dhamma, they say, damyata. Damyata means not letting your sense faculties run towards the object, not allowing your body, the sense organs of action to do certain things, not allowing your sense faculties to dwell upon something, not allowing, not going forward and trying to provide the objects of pleasure or indulgence for those sense faculties. All these comes under unhooking. That is external unhooking, unhooking the external things. And then after you removed all the hooks, the chitta feels very alone because the pattern is already there. We have some kind of a deep seated, what we call as samskara and vasana, we say. So this is a subtle tendency inside us. We have gotten used to those things. We have gotten used to that is why if somebody is having a very busy life, continuously they are it's result oriented people, right? They're constantly pursuing something or the other. The moment they retire, it's like a huge vacuum. They don't know what to do. That's why sometimes what happens, you have in 40 plus, you have a midlife crisis. And later after 60 plus, after retirement, you have post-retirement crisis. Then you are trying to fill up that vacuum. Some objects are missing from your life. Your kids are all settled down and you don't have a job. So something that kept your chitta engaged all the time is not there. And chitta is actively seeking. This manifests when you sit, this manifests as the basic restlessness that is constantly popping up suggestions in your head. It's like this, trying to watch a movie in a illegal website. Constantly, every time you try to close a window, it will open 2 more windows. So our chitta is like that. You try to stop the mind, it will pop up another 3 more thoughts. So this is what happens because it has samskara inside. So then we are learning to not indulge, don't say yes to the chitta, don't say no to the chitta. No, in the sense, don't tell the chitta to stop. Don't have an affirmative action on the chitta. This is the fundamental point. When we are going to sit to meditate, we will try a small technique today. Because if I don't tell the technique, Mr. Sundar will get agitated. Because last class also I didn't tell any technique. So, so today I will tell a technique. Last class I told a technique. I told about sitting straight and all that stuff. Okay. Now today I will tell a little more. So what we have to do, the chitta and buddhi, when we sit, from the buddhi, we decide, luckily, the chitta has given enough space to the buddhi to let you sit. Right. Now, what we feel as, I feel distracted, mind is all over the place, it is running around, I'm trying to block out now. Do not do an affirmative action directly on the chitta, a reaction. Do not react to what the chitta is doing, which means do not react to what is happening in your mind naturally, without your will. When something is happening, without your conscious will, when something is happening in your consciousness, in your mind, inside your body and mind, don't react to it. First, observe it. See what's happening. And simply remember what you are here to do. That's all. Only remember what you are here to do. Don't try to block the mind. Let the mind be there. A beautiful one of my gurus he gave a beautiful analogy. You are a cowherd boy, you are a cowherd boy. You've taken your cows for grazing. So what does he do? He doesn't go and run around like a shepherd dog, pulling everything. No. He goes there, takes them to the grazing yard, leaves them there. Now, he has decided up to this ambit, the cows can graze. So Buddhi has decided this is meditation, this is what we are supposed to do. Right? These are all we are not supposed to do. You have decided, oh, no matter what happens, okay, I have control over my body. I will not move my body. That much you have decided. So the cowherd has decided for this 2 or 3 acres, the cows can move around. No problem. So whatever my mind is moving, let it move inside my body. Let it not push my body out of the posture. This is something like deciding the cows are all here within this area. So he is going and comfortably sitting under a tree, playing his flute. Once in a while, once in a few seconds, once in a few minutes, he looks around. Peripheral vision is there on the cows. Okay, the red cow is there, the spotted cow is there, the black cow is there, the white cow is there, like that. He has a basic idea what is going on. Once in a while, he checks, all the cows are in the ambit. Okay, then goes back to playing his flute. When one cow is trying to get out of the decided area, he calls by the name. Let us say that cow's name is Ramu. Hey, Ramu! Immediately the cow turns and comes back. And then it starts grazing. Or sometimes he will have to go ahead and pull it. It gets stuck in the fence or something, or it is going somewhere else behind something else. So he has to give on patn or adi and then bring it back. Then process continues. He again goes back under the tree and sits, watches. When once the cows are all done grazing, what they all do? They all come and sit next to him. He's playing flute. They're all sitting next to him. And then they are all munching happily. Now that is called the state of laya. So what happens after the mind is done indulging up to a certain level on the objects? You are not letting it go beyond a point. You are not giving fuel for any suggestion. No matter how important, I will not say yes to the chitta. And Chittana, the indecisive, the whatever suggestions come from inside, and whatever happens, no matter how strong the compulsion is, I will not say yes to it. I will not act on it. But I will not block it either. I will not react. I will not try to put effort and block it. I recognize it's there. I remember what I have to do. That's all. I recognize this is there, the disturbance. I recognize the agitation. I remember my meditation. Right? This is the basic formula. I remember what I have to do. While I recognize what's happening out of my hand. Continue to sit. Then what happens? We train this resolve. We train the buddhi to say no. It's no big deal. It's very, very simple. It's just like how we control ourselves from telling, when we are in our house, we let go and we are very okay, and we are very permitting ourselves to yell at people around us. But when we are in the office with the boss, we hate that fellow completely, but still, or we have some subordinate who is like super annoying, but you have to motivate them. That guy belongs to some community. If you say something, he will put a case against you in India. So all kinds of problems, or somebody is getting hurt. We have loads of issues. So you don't want to make a mess there. No matter how horrible you feel, you don't say anything. And then you find a way to do some, in Japan, they will go and punch some pillow, it seems. So similarly, you find some other way to vent it out, or you process it, and then that thing comes down, the agitation comes down, or you ignore it. After some time, it settles down, or you recorrect your attitude because you have to work with that guy. You don't want too much of stress. if you are in a good, if you are a good, you have a good organizational behavior or some psychologist or therapist or something, somebody is too, you can't handle that fellow, then what happened? You go and talk about that to your therapist or your guru. Then they say, you cultivate this attitude, you see if you can see that like that, and then you write down, your coach is telling you, you write down this and you write an affirmation or whatever, and you think about, you learn, you habituate the mind to think about that person differently, and then it affects you less, right? So we do all that. Similarly, with the mind, you decide not to act. That's all. Just like how you decide not to speak, you decide not to react and put effort. All you have to do is let go of unnecessary effort, trying to control the natural mind or chitta. Next, I have to just only remember that what I have to do in meditation now. Only remember. That remembering what I have to do will make you do. As simple as that. Because if I push myself to do, I will develop tension in my mouth, I will develop tension in my abdomen, I will start developing tension in my limbs, I will develop tension in my eyes, pushing the concentration. Nobody, there is no target here. You have eternity. Thankfully, you are, Atma is birthless and deathless. You are eternal. There is no rush. You can always, and if you rush, you are not going to go to the target. You're going to go in sidetrack. So this is all you have to remember. Observe the agitation. Remember your method of meditation. Right? Repeat it in your head now. Observe the agitation. Simply remember what you have to do in meditation. Just repeat it. Try to get that concept. Now remember this. This is what we are going to apply. Right. Now sit straight. If you need to loosen up a little bit, maybe you can get up, run on the spot, and flex your ankles, hands. If you feel stiff in any part of the body, I will give you 2 minutes time. Feel free to move that part of the body. Find a way to sit straight. People who are ambitiously sitting in Vajrasana, you better relax your knee right away. We are going to sit and try this for 15 minutes together. Once in a while, I will give a small instruction. But basically, we are by ourselves, just available to my voice. I will not keep guiding a meditation. I will give you suggestions which you take inside and apply it. Guided meditation is another nonsense. It doesn't empower you. It just it makes you addicted to another process so that you keep using that app. Push your hip up, 6 points, relax, the basics. Asana, the posture. Eyes, mouth, shoulders and hands. Abdominal muscles. Toes, கால் விரல், கண்ணு, வாய், தோள்பட்டை, கை, வயிறு, கால் விரல். Inside the back of the neck. பின் கழுத்துக்கு உள்ள. These are the 6 points. Now, we decide the meditation task. For today's purpose, we are going to learn to use a mantra. How to use a mantra. You can choose your own mantra, whatever you have. We know a lot of, there has been enough spiritual shopping going on these days. So I'm sure each of you knows. If nothing, you can just use the name of your ishta devata. Ishta devata means your favorite manifestation or your favorite representation of the divine. If you're atheist or something, or you don't believe in all that, you are some kind of impersonal, some kind of spiritual stuff. I can help you to narrow down to an idea, because I'm sure that person will be a minority. So you can discuss that with me separately. We usually replace the Ishta Devata with some kind of a principle, a universal positive principle. So for now, any chosen form of divinity. Don't worry, if you choose one God, the other God won't get jealous or angry. It's all the same. All you have to do is, when you relax the 6 points, when you think of the divine God or goddess or whatever, when you think of that divine principle, what most naturally comes when you're totally relaxed, effortlessly aware of the rhythm of the breathing, have an intention to repeat the name or mantra of a deity, a divine form, and whatever comes most naturally, your tendency, the most natural tendency connects to whichever, choose that. It can keep changing from day to day. It need not be the same thing. Let's see, whatever comes today, that's it. Don't confuse this with your anushtanam. Anushtanam is different. Suppose if it is, pradosham or something, you don't have to do Shiva. If it is Ekadashi, you don't have to do Vishnu. That is your anushtanam. That's separate from meditation. Don't confuse your anushtanam with meditation. And don't go for these ideas like, which is the most powerful, I will do that. Nothing like that. Whichever divinity your mind flows or remembers most naturally, when you are not putting any effort, after your mind settles on the breathing, just feel the space in front of your body, the space just immediately in front of your legs, your belly, hands. When you choose a divinity, you try to just remember only the name, the divine name. If you are already used to the mantra related to that divine, it is you internalized the mantra, then you can remember that mantra. It will come automatically, whether you want it or not. You gently whisper that without the sound coming out. You can move your tongue and lips. There will be a basic idea about the divine form. A vague idea about the divine form. And you are repeating that mantra or the name of that divine form. Just calling, staying near, emotionally being close, staying in the presence. Of the Lord or the goddess. And repeating the name and feeling the presence, feeling the connection. When you're trying to do that, you will feel a need to gather yourself and focus, You will feel the need to gather your background. Let go of that. You're not controlling the background, but feel the background. In the gap between two mantras, the gap between two repetitions, feel the background. Observe the background. Remember your task. Repeat the mantra. Observe the background, your natural state, whatever is there. Other than the mantra, other than the meditation task, whatever is there, remember that, just observe that. Other than your meditation task of mantra and feeling the divinity's presence and a kind of a memory of the form, this is your task. This is your meditation. You repeat the mantra once. Observe whatever else is there in the mind or in your body, in your feeling. It's just the vague background, whatever is there in the system. Whatever you want to control and bring it, that feeling like I want to control and bring this back, bring myself back out of this. That feeling is there, right? So whatever is there, just observe. After you repeat the mantra, observe this and casually remember your meditation. Repeat the mantra. You will become available for repeating the mantra. Repeat the mantra. Recognize your background suggestions, distractions. Remember your mantra. Come back. That's it. Just keep doing this. I'll let you be with this process for 5 to 10 minutes. And then we conclude. Don't rest your head back. Bring your chin slightly down. Chin slightly down. Body, neck, and head should be in a straight line. While you are doing this meditation, there must be no effort in the 6 points. Eyes must be relaxed. Mouth must be relaxed. Suddenly you are too confused. You don't know what to do. Come back to the body. Feel the eyes. Feel the relaxation in the 6 points. Let the mind rest on the breathing. Remember the meditation task. And continue. You have to move your lips and mouth without the sound coming out. Very gentle inside the mouth. We are only handling the reacting to the distractions. Learning not to react. That's what we are doing today. The task is to remember the mantra and come back to repeating it as a soundless whisper. Once in a while, you can take a deep inhale and a gradual exhale and come back. When you're observing the background, observing your tendency to do other things and remembering to do what you have to do, also check any part of the body is tense and relax that and come back to the 6-point relaxation and continue. If you are making an effort behind your eyes or mouth, if you feel any muscular tension in any of the 6 points, any movement or effort manifesting in the body, other than that gentle, soundless whisper of the mantra, any effort manifesting on the body is a sign you are doing it wrong. You have to let go of that, come back to the process. Relax, observe, remember. Observe the agitation. Remember the meditation. Get back to doing it. Observe the agitation. Remember the meditation. Do it. That's all. After one more repetition, you can stop and just stay aware of your body, the relaxed points. Be aware of the rhythm of the breathing. This is how you come out of meditation. Remember this process. After you stop the mantra, feel the body, feel your limbs, the 6-point relaxation, and the natural awareness of the rhythm of the breathing while you are remaining effortless. feeling the weight of your body on the ground, on your butt. Gently open your eyes, become aware of your surroundings. Take a deep inhale and a gradual exhale. Once you are done, you can move your body a little bit, flex your body a little bit, and come back to the closing of the class with the final discussion. Good. Yeah. So this is a technique. We have learned only the basic technique. Now you have to spend time with this. Sometimes it will be easy to remember the word or the mantra without even moving the lips. And the distractions will be very less. It may be nicer to repeat in the mind and not with the lips. Don't fall for it. Repeat with the movement of the lips and mouth without the sound. Because suddenly you can try that. You can try that yourself. It's nothing is going to go wrong. Do that. If you find suddenly thinking about something else, that means it's not working. The chitta has hijacked your buddhi or sleeping, whatever. So posture and repeating with the mouth, but without the sound, like a whisper, you know. It's called upamshu. It's called upamshu, like this. And once in a while, taking a couple of deep breaths, observing the distraction, and staying committed to this task for half an hour. Half an hour is decent. 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes is barest minimum. Stay committed. You don't move. Half an hour is decent. 40 to 45 minutes is good. So you can do minimum, decent or good, but not less than minimum. 15-20 minutes like barest minimum. Don't 5 minutes. Now it takes time for the system to settle down, the pranas to settle down, the chitta to calm down and start becoming available. It just starts becoming good only after like 12-13 minutes. And then don't stop immediately. Enjoy that. Stay in that focus, a better state for some time with minimal distractions, you know. So you are right now, two things are required. One, you have no hope. You don't have a target experience. Remember this. Today you will have some kind of experience. Tomorrow you will have some kind of experience. It's all meaningless. Whatever you experience is meaningless. Because it's temporary. Once you're out of the meditation, it's not going to be with you. It's back to your own rut. So what is going to come with you from the meditation? What is the benefit from meditation is you are developing the muscle. You are developing the meditation muscle, the mind muscle. That's what you are developing. The result of which will show in your inherent tendencies after a month or 2 or 3 months of meditation. The way the world affects you, the way you impact the world is going to change. So that is the result. Not how you feel good or not feel good. One day you will feel good, one day you will not feel good. It's all meaningless, right? Don't try to repeat an experience. Someday, like upday, like Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, upday you see that, Shankha Chakra Gada Pani, all that comes and you feel great ecstasy. Oh my God, today, today also I'm going to, force that Krishna come to my mind. No, doesn't work. It's an illusion. It's all just mind. So don't worry about it. You are only dedicated to the process. Karmannevadhikaraste mapaleshu kadachana. That means you keep dedicated to the process. The result will take care your time. The result is not a specific experience during the meditation time. The result is the way as the meditation muscle inside you develops, as your life starts becoming meditative. The same level of subtle control that you have over your mind will start extending in your everyday situations. You'll be able to grab your chitta and bring it back to what you want to do without any. You'll start feeling the controls of chitta more tangible. Where the mind is moving in the origin of the distraction, wherever is a distraction, whenever you are on a task, your mind is distracted, you will be able to tap at the source of distraction and turn the current of the mind. That tangibility with the mind, that is what we are trying to develop in the meditation process, and you will experience it. I guarantee you that in a month or 2 months, if you just listen to and practice, get dedicated to the process, in a month or two, you will get that. You will get a tangible feel of the controls at the source of distraction. That is so then what happens? We don't have a conflict. We don't have a distracting mind and a concentrating mind. This dichotomy will not be there. When the dichotomy is not there, that is called ekagrata, non-conflict, without mind engaged on a task, without conflict or with the least conflict. So that is what it's called minimal cognitive dissonance when you are engaged on a task, or in other words, it's called as a naturally flowering brainwave coherence. You can call like that. So this is what we are aiming in the process. So practice this minimum 15 to 20 minutes, decent half an hour, good 40 to 45 minutes. Don't push beyond that. It's all right. You don't get too ambitious right away. After 45 minutes, no matter how great you feel, get up. The process, feel the body, feel all that, feel your butt, feel the weight, feel the relaxation, feel your atmosphere, take a breath, get out of meditation. Maybe move a little bit, take a walk, whatever, if you want to ground, right? And then go to your other things. You can do another sitting in another time of the day. Do it only when your stomach is not hungry and it's not full. You should not be hungry. It's like you have eaten and after 2.5 hours or 3 hours, how do you feel? You are not hungry yet, but you are not heavy at all. You are very light, but you have enough energy. So that is the kind of thing you have to choose, state of body you have to choose, and find it according to each one's schedule. Don't get obsessed with this Brahma Muhurta. It's all, morning 4:30, then you'll only sleep, because all our lives, most of our lives are all messed up. All our schedules are according to English calendar, which is meaningless, and according to some clock. So it's all useless. We are not tuned to the natural rhythms, most of us. So don't try to push all these Brahma Muhurta ideal stuff right now. Follow your biorhythm, follow your body, follow your metabolism, and choose the right optimal moment during your schedule for meditation, where the external disturbances are minimum and physical internal disturbances are minimum. And find that half an hour at least. If you can 2 times a day, it's amazing, but at least find 1 half an hour in a day, right? During the entire day, as you like, right? Okay. So we'll finish this class. Come back with your feedback. You can have my number or you can have my email. Yeah, from Sundarji. You can have my number, and just any questions, you just WhatsApp me and I will reply. And any atheist, agnostic who have a problem with the divinity, you can always talk to me, and we will find a way to get. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityor Ma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Please take the recording and listen to this once more during the week. Have a nice weekend.
May I ask one question?
Yeah, okay. Whoever wants to leave can leave, please. Solomon.
So the first couple of times I just did the meditation. I said I'll just do it until a certain point where I felt maybe I've done 30 minutes and ended it. I found it was like maybe 25 minutes. After that, I thought I'll be a little smarter and set a timer. Unfortunately, my mind kept going into thinking how much of time is left. So do you recommend I go back to the original, simply forget timer, everything, simply meditate until I feel I've finished 30 minutes?
Keep an alarm at 40 minutes. Or tell somebody to come and remind you. Somebody will come and say, oh, that means 40 minutes over.
Maybe that's better, because when I put the timer, I was picturing how
We
far
get
the
very,
timer
we
has
get
gone
very
and how much-
ambitious. Yeah, we get very ambitious about our inner clock, you know.
Yeah.
Today also I got it. No, it doesn't work. It's the same thing like repeating experience. It works for sleep. Most of the days it works for sleep, but still I don't take risk when I have a plane to catch.
That is true.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And recording. Can you ask about the recording?
The recording will be available from someone, I presume.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I will share it.
எனக்கு ஒரு link அனுப்புங்கப்பா. I'll also record.
Sure.
I'll also save it. Last time I didn't get the recording.
Yeah, last week's.
Yeah,
The last
time-
week's was too, it was big in size. I had to discuss with you and maybe make it a little concise. Otherwise, recording is available. I'll share it this week also.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Sundar.
Please,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.